what is the compensation, the proper compensation for customer support reps, CSRs? And then how do you keep them in the role for a long period of time? Or is it like SDR, sales development reps, in that it's a transient position? Are there people who are lifers who want to be in this? Are there people who are transient? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, for us specifically, I believe it's more of like a lifer role, but they can actually move up within it. We've been working on building better career paths so that they can grow within the team. The reason I think that it's more of a lifetime role is because I find the people it attracts, these people that are really good at customer service, they love it. I just had a meeting with one of our CSMs today, and it's just very interesting. The happiness of the customer you can really feel is like what brings them joy. And that's how you found the right person. Now, if you find the wrong person, I do think you need to get them out of that role quickly, because if they take things personally, or if that's one of the biggest red flags I've seen, it's going to really crush a lot of their energy. And it's just not going to be a good fit long term. Now, in terms of compensation and rewarding them, we do a hybrid approach for re-signs and expansion, where they get some of the commissions for when a customer does re-sign afterward. So then it really does put your sales and your customer success on the same team, because they are splitting the commission at the end of it, which has been really helpful for us.
So using a customer support rep to get the expansion, going from 1 or 2 seats in a SaaS company to 3 or 4, or to renew a contract, that is a great moment, because they've been helping the customer. They know what they've been experiencing, and maybe it's a better person to ask for that signature or that re-up.
Exactly. We actually, for that, I was talking a little bit about where's the line between and who's responsible for what. Our line is actually when a customer contract is ending with us, it's the customer success person's job to follow up with them and to get that call to renew if they haven't automatically renewed. And then the salesperson actually joins them, but the customer success runs the meeting because they know the client the best. And then the salesperson is just there to help upsell and get them to sign on the dotted line at the end. So that's how we work.
Have you considered just having the customer support manager, rep, whatever, get them to sign? Or are they uncomfortable asking for that signature?
Yeah, so sometimes they will re-sign without needing a little extra meeting or whatever. They'll just ask for, oh yeah, we're just renewing. For the ones that need a little bit more hand-holding or the bigger contracts, we definitely push for a meeting because we know we can expand it more. I just find that the salesperson has like a different repertoire of skills that they bring to the table in terms of the upsell, and that's why it's been good. We've tested different options, but at the end of the day, the salespeople are very good at selling if they are good at their job. So they're good at identifying opportunities and for expanding the contract, where that customer success person is like that comforting friend and warm blanket that makes them feel, comfortable to keep working with you.
Nicole, any thoughts you want to build on there in terms of the line between sales, customer support, and who develops the better ongoing relationship?
Yeah, it's a good question. And it's something that we've really wrestled with a lot as well. And I think it's an ongoing conversation for us. For us, a big thing is customer usage. So we sell membership packages. And so if we don't have a certain amount of hours used in a month, then that's a trigger for us. There's an issue with customer success. And so one thing that we've been doing is we give our sales team commission off of not just that subscription fee or that monthly membership fee, but actually any overages that the customer uses. So they're really incentivized as well to make sure that not just through the sales process, but also through the onboarding process, and then even further, that they're constantly invested in the customer success. And so they're also getting on the phone when customer usage falls below a certain percent. We have monthly meetings where our entire team is on and we understand how our customers are using and what that customer usage is like. And every single person on our team is picking up the phone and making those calls and reaching out to customers.
It's got to be a morale killer if you get the sale and then they don't use the product. Conversely, it's got to be just an incredible morale boost when they blow through their credits and have to buy more. Have you learned things, Nicole, from these customer support moments that have been productized, and somebody's got to come up with a creative idea of how to get more usage? How does that ideation work, or how has it worked? And are there any techniques for coming up with new ideas to drum up and increase utilization?
Absolutely. So a big thing for us right now is return to office. So this is happening across all industries. And one thing that we've done is we've created a campaign for existing customers so they understand how other similar customers in their industry are using us to more effectively return their employees to the office. So that's one thing that we do a lot of, where we look, and I mentioned this a little bit in the presentation, but we look at similar customer profiles. And then we create campaigns around that for existing customers to help them understand not just how we can help them in how they originally signed up, but to give them ideas outside the box for how they can use us in different ways and what different opportunities are that.
So it even jumps from client to client. You have a client who's returning to the office. Now you have an opportunity to take the best practices learned there and share them with folks, either in an email or a phone call, et cetera. I wonder if you have questions for each other, having watched each other's presentations, or was there an idea, Kristen, you got from Nicole, or Nicole from Kristen, that inspired you to think about your business differently?
Yeah, I had a few. I thought that first of all, I loved your presentation. I had a lot of different, I had a lot of different, I think, similarities, even though I know our businesses are different. There's always a lot of applicable things. One thing that I know you were talking a lot about is the wrong customer segment and going after it. And that's something we've been working a lot on, is trying to identify our different customer segments. And although someone spends less money but stays longer, like who's more valuable? And then you said you were like burning your ships. What was like the turning point for you to finally like realize it? Was it like straight revenue numbers, or was it usage, or what was like the actual KPI that I guess allowed you to make that decision to cut off those customers completely?
Yeah, it's a great question, because as I said, like at that point, 70% of our revenue was still coming from small businesses, but the usage was very low and the churn was very high, and our customer feedback was very terrible. And so when we started seeing these customers that we were getting fantastic feedback from them, we weren't getting the turnover, and their usage was through the roof. They might sign up for a package of 10 hours, but in some cases, one customer would use 100 hours in a month. And so that was like the aha moment that the revenue's maybe not there yet, but all the other signs are pointing towards success in this area. And it was a very difficult decision, but once we did that and moved our momentum in that area, that's when everything changed in our business.
Today, many small business owners are busier than ever because they're focused on managing and growing their business. They can't always spend the time they wish they could on recruiting. That's why LinkedIn Jobs has made it easy to find and hire the best candidates for free. Here at Launch, hiring is definitely a part of my strategy. A critical part of that process is using LinkedIn Jobs. Why? Because there are 740 million professionals on LinkedIn, and you know what? You get the right person in the right position, and all of a sudden it makes coming to work delightful. Every problem seems like it's solved, and you feel invincible. Conversely, when you can't fill that position, you feel like your company is a disaster. That's because you're only as good as your team. And it all starts on LinkedIn Jobs. You can find the right person for your role right now, and your first job posting is free because LinkedIn loves This Week in Startups, and This Week in Startups and JCal love LinkedIn. Am I talking about myself in the third person? I guess I am. So here's how you get that free first job posting. LinkedIn.com/yourstartup. LinkedIn.com/yourstartup. YOURSTARTUP. Your startup. LinkedIn.com/yourstartup to get a free job posted today. Terms and conditions, of course, apply because they're giving you something for free. Thank you, LinkedIn, for making my life so easy. I found so many great people on the service, and I love all the great features you have. The newsfeed, God Live, groups, all these great features. You keep adding them, and I keep using LinkedIn more and more. Okay, let's get back to this amazing episode.